On the latest episode of AMC's The Walking Dead,
Yeah.
we, of course, the last episode ended with Alpha coming to the hilltop saying,
Right, yeah.
"I want my daughter," which apparently it's a Louisiana accent that she has. At least that's what we think. So things kind of took off from there. So Daryl does not want to give Lydia up to Alpha and the rest of the Whisperers because he saw the marks on her arm and could tell that her mom abused her and beat her. So the whole episode is basically Alpha trying to convince them to give her back her daughter, saying that, we'll just, we have two of yours. And she brings out Luke and Alden. That's why I can never think of his name, because it's a messed up, uncommon name.
Wait,
Alden.
what does the daughter want to do? What does Lydia want to do herself?
I think by the time this happens, she's pretty convinced that she's with some messed up people. And that
she was with the Whisperers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That she being a part of their group was not altogether good for her.
Yeah.
So I think she was coming around, but this kind of undid that because she still never got to a point where she didn't say, like, places like this don't last. Places like this just fall. I've seen it happen before. I think she basically went through those lines 3 different times.
Everyone does.
Over
it happens
these
a lot in the
2
show. It's kind of a cliche.
They just keep saying the same things over and over again, like, this is what I believe. This is my mantra. Kind of like, all life is precious.
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad that that's done.
I wonder when he's gonna come back though in a few seasons, because every 2 seasons he comes back. Wait a minute. No, every other season. Yeah. So next season he'll be back.
We'll see. I don't know.
Dude, it's seriously held up. Season 1, season 2 he's not in there. Season 3 he comes back when they meet him. 4 he's not in there at all. 5 he finds them. 6
Gotcha.
and since then actually no, it hasn't held up. But you see what I'm saying? It's kind of actually like interesting. But anyways, besides the point.
So yeah, she brings out Alden and Luke to trade them, like, 2 of their people for 1 of hers. Daryl still doesn't want to do it, but he kind of has no choice with Alden and Luke.
Well, shoot, if the girl wants to stay there, she should just go and then come back after her.
Yeah, so here's what. So when he goes to get her, of course, Henry, who has taken a liking to Lydia, has hidden her. He takes her out of the hilltop and to that place where those other kids were hanging out together. And it's at that point that Enid goes and finds them and, like, basically tells Henry, like, we have to let her go. Lydia says that she really needs to go, that it's not, it's not fair that 2 of their people have to die because of her. She kisses Henry, so we definitely...
Cover your eyes, kids.
Yeah. So, yeah, we definitely see some reciprocated feelings there. And she says that she'll miss him, so she's going to go. Now, also while this is going on, I still don't know her name, but she's the deaf woman from the new group of people.
Yeah.
She's still out in the cornfields from the night before. She never came back, apparently. And... she's kind of just watching the whole situation go down. At one point, this is where... So far, Alpha hasn't really struck me as a villain type character the way Negan is, or even the governor. Like, she's not all that threatening. I mean, they basically... At one point, she says, give me my daughter, and Daryl says no, and she goes, wrong answer, and she just brings in more of her people. And all that they're armed with, they don't have guns. They just have... knives. Is like they don't have, like, long range weapons. They don't even have mid range.
Don't they all have guns? And Daryl and
and he basically says, "We'll light you up." And the thing that she does is she brings out one of the Whisperers who has a baby. So basically, hiding behind an infant. But then here's what happens: a herd of real walkers, it has become attracted to all the talking back and forth. And one of the Whisperers says to Alpha, do you want us to lure them away? And she said, no, just hold them back. But they can't hold them back. Like, they're trying to just corral them, I guess.
Yeah.
And the baby starts crying. And of course the walkers are attracted to that, and Alpha just looks at the mother, and the mother like doesn't want to do whatever she's telling her to do, but she eventually just like lays the infant on the ground still crying and just walks away from it. Yeah, and so I was thinking like, okay, Walking Dead, if you're going down this road, you're about to cross a line that I'm not going to follow you over. But how they went ahead and resolved that was the woman in the cornfields who's hiding, Luke, who's in her group, part of her group, is signing to her from behind his back like there's a baby there, because she can't hear it crying because she's deaf. So she, when it's a good time, she runs out, gets to the baby before the walkers can, goes back into the cornfield, and then at that point they actually did something really good. Even like, I know I've been doing a lot of complaining with like, you know, I don't like it that they have a deaf character and they have to sign everything, and when they're signing, like, there's subtitles to read, and it's super annoying sometimes. But what they did here was, when she goes in the cornfield, they kind of do something to the audio where everything's muffled and you can't quite hear or see anything because she's in the cornfield.
Yeah.
And so she's like kind of dodging walkers that have also wandered into the cornfield and other whisperers, and she's like killing them when she can. And right when she runs into a walker that you think is going to get her, Daryl comes out and like kills it. And I love how much screen time Daryl has been getting lately. Like,
we all knew that was going to have to happen if Rick's going to be gone.
Right, but I like it.
Yeah.
I like the fact that we see a lot of Daryl, and Daryl has definitely, and we kind of called this before, Michonne isn't really carrying the show, Daryl is.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, especially she hasn't even been in the last 2 episodes, so that's been
So he's kind of the new main character then.
Yeah, pretty much. And hey, I won't complain if they want to do that. So he gets her to safety. And at the beginning of the episode, you see you see that old couple that had that one guy who way back at the beginning of season 9 like attacked Maggie.
Yep.
At
Yeah, the drunk dad.
What's the name of the guy who convinced him to do it? It begins with a G. Was it Gary or?
You mean the annoying guy?
The old annoying guy who like kept
Gregory.
Yeah, Gregory. The guy that he convinced to like try and kill Maggie, who had lost his son.
Yeah.
Remember, his son got killed. They had a scene where the doctor's taking a look at him and basically like saying like, you know, you need to rest from what you're doing. And apparently he's trying to make horseshoes for the upcoming fair that's going to happen. He's basically saying like, no, I don't need to take a rest. There's 24 more horseshoes that need to get made before the fair. No one else is going to do it. And Tara's having a conversation with his wife. And his wife said that basically ever since they lost his son, their son, him doing his work has been a way for him to fill the gap. So that's important for later. So they eventually get Lydia. They make the prisoner exchange, which this has been the most uneventful prisoner exchange in any Walking Dead, because normally someone dies, right?
Yeah.
That it happened with Herschel. Remember,
right?
The governor just kills him before, and yeah, and then of course the other one was Beth.
Yeah.
So,
why is it always the Greens?
Yeah, for real. But so the exchange goes down. There's not much of an event. At one point, Lydia like calls Alpha, like she said, like, yeah, you know, you came to get me, Mama, and she just slaps her, and she says, "You call me Alpha like everyone else."
Okay.
So
Mom of the Year award, everyone.
Yeah, right. I mean, she's a jerk. She's not nice, but I don't really see her as like a Negan replacement.
No.
So hasn't really won me over yet as a convincing villain. But they go their way, and what's really nice about this episode is that the couple that had lost their son, they're going to raise this baby that they got.
Oh.
The baby that was left out in the field, yeah. So they get to raise her. Everyone comes home. We see that Alden and Enid are in a relationship, which I think had been hinted at before, but now we get confirmation that they're in a relationship together. And that's...
Oh, wow. Enid's got to be really old.
No, because she was Carl's age.
Yeah, so she's got to be like 20-something.
Yeah, yeah. It's implied that she's
the
like
same
in her
actress,
20s
right?
now. Same actress, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, it was a good episode. The only thing that I'm kind of like on is Alpha. Like they're gonna have to work harder to make me really.
Well, you gotta work a little bit because I feel like women are naturally less intimidating than men. Just simply because,
unless they have like superpowers or something else going on. Yeah.
I mean, just simply because like a strong man is going to be stronger than a strong woman, just biologically speaking. And then also like there's the voice that plays into it, and have like deeper voices. And,
who is she up against? She's up against Daryl,
and they don't have guns,
right?
So it's all like, kind of mounting against.
So really, the Whisperers as a group, like, and we've even seen we've had times when, like, if they get hurt and they're surrounded by walkers, the walkers are just like, oh, they're not a walker, I'm gonna eat them now. So they kind of have like, even though they're blending in with the walkers, like that's kind of a double-edged sword. It has its a lot of disadvantages too.
Living on the edge for sure. Like
because at any moment you can, or hey, your baby that you just had is crying. It's like it's not the best idea. Like I'm still hung up on the fact that they should have just gone with the whole like, oh, the walkers are actually starting to talk to each other. That would have been a lot more interesting than they're just real people dressed up as walkers.
Yeah.
Which I can see happening. Yeah, people just go crazy and are just like, hey, you can't beat them, join them. It's kind of thing.
But also, science is kind of out the window in this whole series, so like, why not make them evolve?
Yeah, totally. I mean, they're coming back to life. Why not?
Yeah.
So, but all in all, good episode. I think we've got
3 more? I think
we got 4.
4, oh.
Maybe. Somewhere.
This is the third after. This is the third.
Yes.
So
if this is the third one and there's 16, so we got 5 more to go, actually. So we got quite a bit.
Yeah.